We'll be extending this little project over the next few videos. So let's take a look at what it does to start with. So if we look at the bomb, it will move towards my hand. It'll keep doing that until I grab it, and then it will disable that feature. If I hold the bomb in this ring, the ring then focuses itself on the mine, and I can shoot it. So if we drop into edit mode, the first thing we want to do is create something to shoot at. So I'll use my hand menu and I'll add a node. I'm going to create a UFO. So if I go into states, and states are going to be the focus for this video, we can see we've got a state created by default, and I'll drop into there and I'll say that I want to have a model. So it's defaulted to a sphere. So I could go into Sketchfab and I could do a search for UFO and download one of these. But I have got one that I've been using already in some of my demos, so I'm gonna pick that one out of my library. Now I'm going to want a few different states for this. So this is its normal state. And I also want a state when it's being hit by the bomb. So I'm going to duplicate the current state. I'll call this state hit. And I'll drop into the state's properties to make some changes. So I can override these various categories. It could be a different type of display altogether. I'm going to change its color when it's hit. And with this color selector, you can grab the sphere and change the hue, saturation, and brightness of it all at once. Or you can use the sliders individually. So you can see it's changing the model. I'm going to make it a red when it's been hit. And I'm going to adjust the offset as well. So you can see we've got some lines in the middle saying that's its default position. So I'm just going to move it backwards as though it's had an impact. And I'm going to decorate it with some lines as well. So I'll pick a yellow color and I'll just have some kind of impact lines coming out from it. I can change the width on that as well and update the line just to widen the end a little bit. Okay, so we've got two states now. We can use the eye icon to change between them. The default state and the hit state. I'm going to have one more state, so I'm going to duplicate the currently selected one again. And this is going to be where it's going to just fall out of view. So you can see it's highlighted the things we've overridden, and I can set these back to default if I want to, or change them again. So I'm going to just, on the decorate, I'm going to change that to default. I can pick this node up and I can move it around and I can scale it with my hands. But I want this quite a distance away, so if I come out of states, I'll go into properties for the node itself, and I can click on position. And now I've got this joystick at the top. So I'm currently in move mode, and I can just drive the UFO away. I can also rotate it and remotely change its rotation. And I can also change its scale. So we obviously want it quite a bit bigger to hit. I'll move it further away still. I should do as. So I'd like a boss who's going to give us our instructions. So I'll add a node. Call this boss. Go into states. And this time I'm going to have an image. So I could upload an image from my phone or pick an existing one. I'm going to use AI to generate one. A window through which we can see the silhouette of our alien boss. Okay, so we're using voice to text to just give it a description. And then the generate will just take a little while to send that to the server and generate an image. So there's our alien boss. We could generate more and then cycle through them, but I'm happy enough with that one. So we accept that. Confirm. So I'm going to place him over here, make him a bit bigger. And in the properties, I'm going to say it's display who it is. So that's our boss. I'm going to create another node now, because we're going to want to keep a score. So I'll call it score. I want to display it. So I'll go into states again, so we're controlling what the visual appearance is going to be. In this case, we're going to make it text. So you can type some text in, but we want to choose a variable. So we'll go to player, and there's some that already exist, some built-in variables, but you can create your own as well. So we'll select score. So over here, we've got an explosion that's already set up. And this one, if I go into the states again, is actually an icon. And there are hundreds of icons built in, so you can just flick through these and pick one that's appropriate. And the good thing about icons is you can make them really big and they don't go blurry around the edges. So let's have a look at some of the states of the other existing objects that we've got. So if I go into the bomb, this has got states to say when it's distant, near, loaded, and shot. And the launcher has got a couple of states for when it's ready and armed. So the important thing with states is not just about how they look, it's what events are applicable to it. So if I play it again, just to remind you of this. So currently that's in its distant state for the bomb. So if I look at it, it knows to bring it forward towards my hand. Once I've grabbed it, it changes it to the near state, and now the looked at event doesn't have any impact on it. When I move the bomb over the launcher, that changes its state to armed, which tells it to look at the bomb. And the bomb is now in its state saying it's loaded and ready to fire. And when I release it, it changes to its shot state. You can put various logic against that. So when it's in its shot state, I can't reach out and grab it, for example. So that gives you an idea of how states are used to restrict events and also change the appearance of objects. And in the next video, we'll look at how we start adding events to make these things actually work.